Hey guys, I'm Pete the Duck, and this is part 2 of the tutorial on how to score points when shooting fusion coils in Halo Reach. In part 1, I showed you 2 mechanisms that would be useful for maybe a challenge map or obstacle course, or even a multiplayer training map or like a clan training map. In this part 2, I want to show you just a couple modifications that you can keep in mind when you're building that kind of map. In part 1, we went through things from the beginning. We started a brand new Forge World map and we built everything from scratch. And in this part 2, I've already built a map. So if you're looking for really step-by-step instructions, check out part 1. In part 2, I'm going to show you everything within the context of a map I've already built. Once again, we're using the Halo Ball game type. If you don't have it, do a new custom search. Just go to File Browser, New Custom Search, and go to File Share Search, and enter my gamer tag, Pete the Duck. And you can download Battleship, Breakout, Duck Hunt, Halo Pinball. Those are all the Halo Ball game type. I've just given them different names. So you can download any of those, and those are technically the Halo Ball game type if you need it. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you in a custom game the map that I've been working on. This map functions for 2 players. So with Halo Ball, you can have up to 4 different teams. You can have red, blue, green, and orange. And so this map is for red and blue team, or red and blue players. It is a small challenge map. And so you can see there's red team over there, blue team over here. The idea is you jump over this, duck under that, jump over that. You're supposed to shoot that fusion coil, shoot this fusion coil, and then run up to the end and press this button. And the idea is the first player to do that is going to win the game. There's 2 modifications I want to make. The first is there's a waypoint here under the ground that I want to get rid of because it's in the way and it's kind of distracting. The second modification I want to make is I want the round to end when the player presses the button, and I want a new round to begin. So let's jump into Forge, and I'm going to show you how to make those 2 modifications. Okay, so here we are in Forge mode, and you can see I have my spawn points for each appropriate team. And the first modification we wanted to make was we wanted the player to win the round by pressing the button. Now I know that with the Halo Ball game type you can set the score to win to 10, and so if the player scores 1 point when shooting this fusion coil and 1 point when shooting that fusion coil, then I need them to score 8 points when they press the button, and that's going to give them 10 and end the round. So all I need to do that is I need to edit the landmine, and I need to go under advanced settings and set the spawn sequence to 8. That's going to give them 8 points. Now you can set the spawn sequence up to like 100, so you get a lot of variety there. You can give them 1 point, 2 point, 100 points. I'm going to give them 8 points. That's going to give us the total of 10 and end the round. This landmine is the simple 2-piece mechanism from part 1 of the tutorial. I just used a landmine instead of a fusion coil because with a landmine you can just walk up and press it and it functions like a button. But other than that, it's configured exactly the same. It has the spawn time of 1 second. Since we're on blue side, it's assigned to blue team. On the other side, it's assigned to red team. And, of course, it's given the Halo Ball goal object label, and I've given it a shape. And underneath, within that shape, is our ball spawn location. And so all that is, we went over that in part 1 of the tutorial. To make it look like a button, I merged a block into the landmine. You have to merge the block into the landmine. You can't merge the landmine into the block. And I also put a shield wall just beneath the surface of the landmine, and that protects the player from the explosion so they don't get killed. Otherwise, they'll take damage. So that's the modification I needed to make for that. Let me show you how I set up these fusion coils. In part 1, what I did is I made the shape really tall, and I put everything up in the sky. And if you remember, when I looked up, I could see that there was a landmine up there. And I didn't really like that, so this time I put everything underneath the map so the player wouldn't see it. So, of course, we have our fusion coil that does not respawn, and it's assigned to the, of course, we're on blue side, so it's assigned to blue team. We have Halo Ball goal object label. We've given it a shape. Underneath it, we have our hill marker, which is a ball spawn location. And underneath that, directly underneath that, we have our landmine, which does not respawn. We also have our Halo Ball goal assigned to blue team on this side. And that has been given a shape that is just blue side. So it does not interfere with red side. Now, because I put everything underneath the map, I don't need a kill boundary. The kill boundary was there to reset the golf ball, because when everything was up in the sky, if it wasn't there, the golf ball would actually fall onto the map. But because everything's underneath the map now, if the golf ball just falls, it's just going to fall into the ocean, and that doesn't matter. So I don't have a kill boundary down there. Now, this hill marker right here, this halo ball goal, is that extra waypoint that's in the ground that's kind of distracting. There's no way to hide the waypoint. It's always going to be there during the game. And so what I wanted to do is I wanted to move it out of the way. So I've already made that adjustment for red side. You can see it isn't here under the red side. What I've actually done is I've put it up in the sky, and we're going to go visit it. But because I put it so high in the sky, I actually need to break out of the invisible boundary on the map. And to do that, I have a teleporter, and I'm up against the invisible boundary. I'm just going to look up, spawn a second teleporter, and go through it. Okay, I think I need to pull this one down a little bit. Now I should be able to go through. Okay, now I'm outside the invisible boundary, and let's see, where did I put that hill marker? There it is. So I'm going to go up, and I'm going to look at it, and I'm going to come back down before I explode. And you can see I've made this shape so it covers this area underneath the map, but it's actually located up there. Up there is where the waypoint is going to appear, but down here it's going to have its shape in the appropriate location so that it functions just like this one, except it's located in a completely different location. So, one question that was asked is, why are all these set to phase physics? What happens if they're set to normal physics? They must not move. You cannot have the fusion coils or the landmines move in order for this mechanism to work. So I put it on phased. If you put it on normal, it's definitely not going to work because the player is going to be able to shoot it, and when they shoot it, it's, well, it exploded. But if it doesn't explode, it's going to tilt, and that's going to move the entire goal with it. So I don't want that to happen. So I need my fusion coil back, so I need to start a new round and set back to phase physics. But now that we've made those adjustments, I'm going to switch over to red team, and I'm going to show you how everything works with those two adjustments that we've made. Okay, so I wanted to show you real quick, under the game type options, I've put the score to win to 10, and I've made it so that there are 2 rounds. So once the player presses the button, it's going to start another round, they'll get a second chance, and then the game will end after that. And of course I'm going to switch over to red team, because that's the side that has everything completed on.
Action sack.
Okay, so if I go forward here and shoot that fusion coil, I'll score 1 point, and I'll shoot that one and score another point. You'll notice there isn't a waypoint in the ground to distract the player anymore. It's actually located way up there. And of course I forgot to delete my teleporters, so I can just delete those. I don't need them. So we'll have to pretend those aren't there. And of course if I run up and press the button, I'm going to score those 8 points, and I'm going to win the round because I have a total of 10 points. So I'll get another chance here at the beginning of another round. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. It's useful for a lot of different things, so maybe you get some ideas from this and you want to build something of your own. This should give you a lot of different ways of accomplishing whatever you want in a nice, clean way and have a lot of fun with. So thanks for watching.